Everyone, welcome to the Remote Accounts channel. I'm your host Vince, and today I'm going to be talking about accounting positions that are common in the industry, as well as be talking about the job posting times on my Facebook group. That Facebook group name is Remote Accounting / Bookkeeping, and their businesses hiring them. You can see that link there down below. And guys, for this channel, remember to hit the subscribe button. That really helps me out, and hit the like button too as well. You guys can find that there, of course, right there on the side there and below this video. And you guys, if you could just do that, it helps me out on YouTube with the people finding the videos and finding the groups and helping keeping this going. So, and today, guys, again, I'll be announcing the job opportunities that will be available to everybody on that Facebook group, so that you can find that available to you guys if you have jobs that you're looking for remote purposes, or perhaps even if you live within the city and see an opportunity, that could be great for you to go in and spend time at the office. But before we get to that, guys, let's talk about accounting positions that are common in the industry. I've been in remote accounting for several years myself, 5 to 6 years roughly in remote accounting, but I've been in accountancy for over 20 years. I was in an office for many years at different companies, and so I got that experience. Then when I got to go remote accounting, I decided to do that because it was easier to just get a computer and work anywhere you wanted. So you get clients that way. So for the accounting positions that are common in the industry that you guys should be aware of, if you're new to accountancy, or perhaps you've been in accounting for long periods of time, you may be thinking about taking a shift into a different category of accounting, you can kind of keep this on your list to kind of keep the opportunities open for you. So the first one is accounts payable and accounts receivable. I mentioned those two because it's really kind of the standard of accountancy. In fact, if you're starting out in accounting, that's typically the positions you usually get, either accounts payable or accounts receivable. Another one is payroll. That's another one too that you can start off doing as well. But in those positions, accounts receivable, of course, is you'd be maintaining the receipts, the business receipts that will be coming in, as well as revenues that business generates, and trying to bill for that. And so that's going to be your function. Accounts payable is the exact opposite of that function. It's going to be bills that have to be paid on. So you'd be paying different vendors and having to manage the invoices that come in from those vendors to make sure that you're taking care of that. Payroll, as most folks know, that's you're handling anybody who's on the staff for the company. It could be anybody in the marketing team, or anybody that's an executive team, or the accounting team, or somebody that's involved in sort of the day-to-day admin. Those folks will have to get paychecks, of course, with benefits, and payroll is going to be taking care of that, so that's a payroll function. And any of those functions, by the way, the accounts payable, accounts receivable, and payroll, I mentioned how you can start off in the industry. You can work your way up and become a very specialized person, and so that could be something that you can get highly paid at if you've done it for many years and you're really an expert in that, and you're handling many different employees, or maybe many different clients. It's a way that you can really specialize and work your way up. So that's you don't have to necessarily just be in the entry level to do those functions, but those functions usually are available for people to get their foot in the door, so that way they can start accountancy. I mentioned that because that's how I got my foot in the door. Years ago, I started off in accounts payable and did some accounts receivable, and then did some payroll as well, and so kind of worked in those different areas. So another area that's common in the accounting industry is controller. So controller is somebody who is going to kind of oversee the staff. It also can be accounting manager, by the way. Sometimes it goes accounting manager, then a controller level, depending on how the company is structured. So the controller is really going to manage making sure the month-end close is done for that client, on a regular basis. And so the controller is going to have to work with the accounts payable person, the accounts receivable person, the payroll person, make sure that those entries are all posted through, and that controller kind of pulls that together and gets the financial statements available. Now, the person who's going to be overseeing those financial statements is going to be reviewing that and checking to make sure all is okay for the company. It's going to be the CFO, the chief financial officer. Now, it's not always the same for all companies. Sometimes they have different labels for this person. It could be a financial director or something of that nature. So that's something to be aware of. It doesn't necessarily have to follow that same format. But the CFO is somebody who's sort of the highest of the level that's going to be overseeing all those different folks to make sure that everything's being booked correctly to the right accounts, and to make sure that the financial statements look correct, because they're going to be presenting that either to the board or to the CEO or perhaps both, so that way that's done correctly. So it's just kind of a general overview, guys. I know that there's also subcategories and some categories that are not included in this. For instance, you could have some people in the financial field that are kind of cross with accounting. That can be a director of financial analysis, or what's called a senior financial analyst, SFA. And so those folks could be in the company as well with the accounting team. And so instead of managing the books day to day like the accounting team, they're more doing analysis on the accounting to make sure that everything's a-okay with the books and all that. So it's a different function, especially with companies that have to do a lot of different data sorts or different drill downs on departments and seeing how things are structured, and particularly for budgeting, right? Because budgeting is a big component for accounting, that the financial team can work in coordination with the accounting team to make sure that that's happening. But that doesn't always have to be the case. Sometimes it's the accounting team that can do the budgeting as well too for that company. So there are several different positions, guys. I hope that was informative for you. I wanted to let you know about that. Maybe we'll have a little video that's just touching base on those categories again to help you guys out. But I wanted to kind of have this video available for you so you can see that. And so today, guys, I want to announce the job opportunities that are going to be available for you. So today is Monday, April 18th. It's 5 p.m. roughly Pacific Standard Time. So I will be posting about the job opportunities available on my Facebook group. Again, that link is there down below at about 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time today. And so you'll see these job opportunities that can be, hiring remote accountants from anywhere in the world, or particularly within a certain region too, depending on their needs. As I've always have a disclosure in all my videos and all throughout my groups and my channel, that these jobs are not my own jobs. These are people that come to me with positions. So I ask you guys to do your own due diligence to make sure it's a correct fit for you, to make sure everything looks okay with the job. I of course don't want you to get a job but later on you feel like that wasn't the right fit for you or something happened with that job. And so there's no way that I could possibly check all these jobs and make sure that these people are going to have a job that's going to be doing what they say they're going to be doing, because that only comes through experience. But it can also come to by sending off emails, sending off personal messages, and diving more into details to make sure everything's okay. So it doesn't necessarily have to be just experience alone. You can also ask the questions ahead of time, and that's what I suggest my members do on the accounting and on my YouTube channels to make sure that it's a good fit for you guys. Just to see what that job, what that opportunity is about. And you'll see in these job postings that many of the same positions that is mentioned in this channel of all these different roles, you'll see that in there. They'll say, I am looking for a financial director. Hey, I'm looking for a controller. Hey, I'm looking for a financial analyst. I'm looking for accounts payable. I'm looking for somebody in payroll. And so these are all very specialized fields. So that's why, one common question is like, well, what should I get started in? Well, see what the different fields are about and see where you'd like to start. Or if you're already in a field you don't particularly like, maybe if you shift it to something different, you like it that much more. I can speak from a personal experience that, when I made a shift to doing senior financial analyst work, I found that quite enjoyable versus doing some of the other things I was doing before. So it was a difference. But you're still in finance, so you're still doing accounting related work, financial related work, budgeting related work. And so I found that'd be useful. So I suggest for you guys, for your purpose, is to see all those roles, see what they're about. You can see YouTube videos, or you can read books on that, or just go on the internet and see blog sites that talks about those positions, or even ask people within my own group. Say, hey, I want to do accounts receivable. What's that like? Or I want to do payroll. What's that like? And how can I get my start there? And so again, my suggestion is to get your start in one of those fields, to learn it, to get certified, and to get some experience. Sometimes to get experience too, guys, by the way, you just have to dive in and get experience either by taking a lower pay or sometimes even no pay. Sometimes it's like an internship. That's the way I started. Years ago, I had to do an internship, and then got very little pay, and then pay got better. So that's how it is. I think that too often times when we're kind of placing the money before the experience, that's when people get disappointed that way, because if you're looking for getting $50 an hour, $100 an hour, whatever it may be, for a position you don't have experience in that, well, you're just not going to get hired that way. Like, people that are going to be paying that much want somebody who's already got experience, that's already baked in through many years. So if it's a new start for you, you just have to kind of consider, like, okay, well, I'm new at this. I've got to learn it and got to get the internship that way. That's going to help me out, or just take a lower pay so you can get your foot in the door and get more experience. And then you can later on say, well, this is the rate that I'd like to have. So guys, I'll keep this in about 10 minutes here. It's a little bit over 10 minutes. That's okay. But again, look out for those job postings on there again. Review this material today here. Check out the other videos on there on this group too as well. I post a lot of tutorials, a lot of help videos, kind of like this one, to help you guys as accountants, since I have some stuff to pass on, as well as some interviews too that you guys would find useful. And if you're new to the group, welcome to the group. And guys, remember again to subscribe to this channel, hit the like button there, and also become a participant in that Facebook group there too. And if you're not involved in that group, please join that group as well. I'll cap it here for today, guys. Take care, and I'll see you in the next video.